This first blind item is about Kim Kardashian, and of course, it's about them manipulating the system. It reads, this illiterate reality star is spending 3 more times in expenses than what her brand generates in revenue, let alone in profit. I suppose it is some tax deduction thing. Now, we've talked about Kris Jenner's church before. It's up in the valley, and it is so random. It doesn't even look like a church, but it seems to be, allegedly, a funnel for them to put money into to avoid it getting taxed. A lot of rich people do these things where they figure out ways around the system. Like, I believe Elon Musk, for example, while he's so rich, he doesn't have any like cash. It's all in stock or something like that. I actually don't know anything when it comes to this world. I wish I did, but I also, it's the really rich people who know how to finesse it. This person wrote, money laundering. Lots of money go in investment-wise and very little comes out. The investments are used to purchase goods and services, often at wildly inflated prices. This person writes, they'll work for a couple of years. After that, the IRS wants to know why you're showing no profit. And that's something you don't mess around with. The IRS is an agency, part of the government, and they handle the taxes, and they do not play around.
While the Kardashians start a lot of brands, not a lot of them gain a ton of traction. I'm thinking of Lemmy Gummies, or even Kylie Jenner's Kai, which is off to a slow start. But with Skims, that's a completely different story. Raising recent funding at a massive $4 billion valuation with $750 million in sales last year. They've established significant brand equity amongst consumers, partnering with celebrities like Sabrina Carpenter and Lana Del Rey for editorial shoots, and delving into sports partnerships with the Olympics and the NBA and WNBA. And they're now even looking into expanding into brick and mortar retail locations in New York and LA. And now early investors may be pushing them to make an exit. One of the details I found interesting in the article was that Kim still receives a 5% royalty of sales as long as the company stays private. But on the other hand, she also has a 30% stake of the business and is obviously one of the early investors who put money into the business when it was valued at $25 million pre-money.
In my videos, we often discuss the importance of justice and fairness. We highlight stories of people who have faced unjust situations or who deserve better after traumatic incidents. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. And unfortunately, some of those affected by life-changing accidents feel lost and unsure of what to do next. But that's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. They are America's largest injury law firm, and they make finding trustworthy legal support straightforward and accessible. With over 1,000 attorneys across all 50 states, they have the resources and the expertise to handle any case, no matter how big or small. And Morgan & Morgan are dedicated to fighting for those who deserve compensation. You guys know I have a hard time trusting people, especially when it comes to legalities, but they can be trusted. They've got your back. For example, in 2023, they secured a $19 million settlement for a family of a man named Amos, who tragically lost his life in a commercial vehicle accident. If you or someone you know has been involved in an accident and need help, don't gatekeep. Morgan & Morgan are ready to go. You could start your claim easily by visiting the link below or scan the QR code and fill out their simple form in minutes. Once you've submitted your form, you could relax because Morgan & Morgan will handle everything from there. Remember guys, this process is completely free unless you win. You can start your claim with Morgan & Morgan at forthepeople.com/Sloan to seek the justice you deserve. Thank you to Morgan & Morgan for sponsoring this video. You can go check out the link below or scan the QR code and enjoy this video. I feel like becoming this businesswoman entrepreneur that she has given her a little bit of that Donald Trump energy. Kim Kardashian, thinks she could rule a country. Could you imagine like BBLs being part of like government assistance? This article reads, nothing can stop Kim from a good challenge. She decides she wants to start a business. Check it. We get Skims. We get some campaigns along with it. She wants to be an actress. She teams up with Ryan Murphy, which actually what happened to that other part of AHS? Like, I was watching that series and then it just stopped, which I know it's part of the strike and everything, but like it was hard to keep up. Oh no, but now apparently Kimberly Kardashian wants to rule a country. Would it be a country with a K? On the season 5 finale of The Kardashians, Kim sat down for a confessional to reminisce on her year. She says, I was entering my actress era. I had no clue this was going to happen. Then she shifts gears to her growing list of aspirations, which includes fully effing ruling a country. Sorry, I can almost not get the words because I'm having the thoughts too of like Kim being president. I don't I actually don't think that would be a good idea. You know, somewhere deep in that brain, she's thinking about ruling a country someday.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've just watched the whole season of The Crown. I could fully rule a country.
The pit was maybe going to the dentist today. Yeah, you know, I know.
According to Kim, she has just learned so much, she concludes, and she's looking forward to the future. Now, that's why it's important to vote. Now, I'm actually really excited to talk about this next blind item because it's about Britney Spears and Halsey, which Halsey was hinting at doing a Britney Spears inspired single, and Britney seemed to have approved of it because she followed her on Instagram. But then we got a really lengthy message from Britney. Before I get ahead of myself, let's read the blind item. The flap between one named singer and the permanent A-list singer just shows the permanent A-list singer is not in control of anything in her life. Her family and her team still control everything, which is why the permanent A-list singer had no idea she had given permission for a sample to be used. Ooh. And Halsey did recently remake Britney's song Lucky. This person writes, Britney had an issue because she didn't realize her team had given permission, because Britney has no idea what is happening. Another person writes, reality is Britney's never written or owned any of her own music, so what happens to her stuff is entirely out of her hands. Another person writes, it won't be long before they're using AI to duplicate her voice, call it all new recordings, and not tell her about their release. Which kind of sounds like that Black Mirror episode with Miley Cyrus about Ashley O. I really believe that was based off of Britney in a way, but Britney went off on Halsey and then ended up taking it back. Britney writes, for obvious reasons, I'm very upset about the Halsey video. I feel harassed, violated, and bullied. Here's the entire post. I didn't know an artist like her and someone I looked up to and admired would illustrate me in such an ignorant way by tailoring me as a superficial pop star with no heart or concern at all. I have my own health problems, which is why I took down my IG account yesterday. I will definitely be putting it back up to show I care. I'm speaking with my lawyers today to see what can be done on this matter. It feels illegal and downright cruel. Now, Britney is entitled to her feelings. Granted, I don't think the music video, in my personal opinion, was trying to mock her. I think it was Halsey's way of kind of speaking about her own experience through kind of like the Britney Spears pop, like, I guess, you know, stigma, which is what Britney doesn't like. Though she walks everything back on Twitter. Just minutes after posting the scathing note, Britney immediately took it down and claimed that someone else had written it. She went on her Twitter to write, fake news, that was not me on my phone. I love Halsey and that's why I deleted it. Can you imagine if a record label took down her Instagram, put out this Twitter tweet, X, whatever you want to call it, all in an attempt to save Halsey? Because if Halsey's trying to come back with this Lucky single, she's obviously trying to make it like mainstream, she's trying to get back on the radios, then this record label is going to do everything in their power to try to protect their artist that they're putting so much money behind. So deleting her Instagram and putting out this little tweet with a rose to make it seem like it's Brit seems like a good plan in my opinion, if we're trying to talk about a scheme going on. Halsey swiftly responded on X, writing, and I love Britney. So it looks like they made up. Aww. Halsey continued, I always have and always will love you. You were the first person who made me realize what it means to feel inspired, and you continue to inspire me every day. Now, it's unclear which part of the video that Britney took issue with. However, many fans suggested that Britney wasn't aware of the health issues Halsey had been going through and how this video depicted like her journey recovering and coming back. In response to Britney, fans wrote, did she watch the video? It's about how Halsey and the little girl are not so different even though she's a star. One user asked, does she mean the shaved my hair 4 times line? That was about Halsey shaving her hair because of cancer, but maybe Britney thought it was a dig at her. Another person concludes that this is just a huge misunderstanding because the music video is about Halsey herself and her fight against leukemia. When you bring up Halsey's battle with cancer, it probably makes Britney feel pretty bad. This person writes, there are definitely references to Britney and her likeness, but I don't think Halsey had ill intent. This misunderstanding could have been avoided if the music video had been explained or shown to her. Someone better fix this. And again, I don't think Halsey meant any ill intent. I think this is all the record labels handling everything here because Halsey has been a day one Britney Spears fan.
Britney Spears. Britney Spears all day. I don't know. I didn't think anyone could be like more of a star. I actually don't know that I even knew at that. I was like 6 because I was also born in 1994. I was like, I didn't know that I knew she was a person outside of the CD. I thought she lived in there, and every time I played it, she had to sing. So she's definitely the star for sure.
That's so cute. Yeah. I love that.
I was like, oh, I gotta wake Britney up again.
Let's talk about Miss Poopy Icy Spicy, the frozen flavoring singer. What? Oh, Ice Spice. Would rather throw around a lot of money and pretend she's a baller rather than actually paying small business owners for the work they did for her. You guys know we support small businesses on this channel, so anyone screwing over a small business is a criminal in my book, because they are valid to getting paid. Just because they're not a big corporation and can fight you over it doesn't mean that their work or their services are any less value. It's even more. This person writes, never understood the hype. Yeah, like her lyrics were fun the first 2 times, but now it's a bit repetitive. Another comment reads, sounds like every rapper. And what's upsetting is that she bought over 20 custom made wigs. One, I know wigs are expensive. I don't, luckily I have, this is all mine right here. Even though it's a little fried from the bleach, it's mine. Can you imagine? Wigs are expensive. They're expensive and custom made 20. So imagine if it's like $2,000 per thing. Then what's that, like 40? Is it 40,000? No, it's not, right? Could it? 2 times 20 is 40. So 40,000? That would be a lot of money. Now, this message was shared by the Neighborhood Talk, reading, as a business owner, you have to try to turn something into nothing all the time. So I was supposed to do Ice Spice's tour, and they sent me a wig order at 19, and then they called me to add 5 more. And then when it was time to pay, they didn't have the budget. That was my dumb mistake, thinking since we worked together for years that everything will be okay. Unfortunately, I learned my lesson. They kept changing the date, 4 changes, so she decided to cancel last minute, one day before the units were ready, after I made a whole bunch of wigs, which I told her just to take the units. But because we didn't have the time to cut them and color them for her this round, she likes the majority of the work to be done for her all the time, this person adds. I told her professionally I'll never deal with her moving forward. Then they told me that they were going to pay my service fee for making the units to at least be fair. Well, today they reached out to me to get another wig, and I asked about the service fee, and she told me straight up after they were going to pay that they are no longer going to pay. So bad business. And also, is it really that I mean, her hair is a big part of her look, her identity, like the red orange hair that she's been rocking. I feel like you would want to invest in someone who's helped build you like this. She said, you really disappointed me when you asked me to give you the tour units for free. 20,000. So about $1,000 per wig, for no promo at all. Now, when have you ever known me to do that? Thank you for making us make all these Nicki Minaj wigs. I'm going to go ahead and not upload the rest of the screenshots, since this is supposed to be Princess Diana, but it's really always Queen Onika. I don't know what that claim is. Maybe she was trying to copy like Nicki stuff, which I think Nicki like signed Icy Spicy, so they're on good terms, at least I think.
So she posted the text messages between her and Ice Spice, and in these text messages, Ice Spice was basically requesting that she make wigs that look similar to some of the wigs Nicki Minaj wore. And there have been some fans who pointed out that Ice Spice has lately been trying to look like Nicki, and they even said that she was trying to rap like her in her single Fat Butt.
Mr. Beast, oh, he's in big trouble. If the A-list YouTuber had spent a few bucks hiring a professional reality show producer, he would not be facing tens of millions of dollars in lawsuits over his latest venture. Oh, that's because Mr. Beast, he's trying to create like a reality show like the Beast Games, but he didn't hire professionals to do the job. This person writes, it's all about Mr. Beast Games on Amazon. Contestants are being too rough with one another, and the hospitals are overfilled with those who have gotten hurt. Food and water haven't been readily available. Behind the scenes, the team is paying complaining contestants to be quiet about everything going on. They're competing for $5 million, so I'm surprised Mr. Beast didn't stop to think that the aggression would get out of control. Oh no, that is scary. I'm like actually scared. Can you imagine being in this game, in this tournament with a bunch of people, and then they're all aggressively fighting to the death for $5 million. I mean, I would be running from like the biggest guy. Like imagine like a 6'5", like 230-pound man just like charging at you because he wants that money. And I get it. Here's an article that reads the controversy surrounding Mr. Beast's upcoming series, Beast Games. It's because he's created this like really was gonna say unnatural experience, but I guess it's very natural, like too natural, to where it's like you're fighting for like fittest survive. Like the fittest person will win this 5 million. The team behind it is facing allegations of poor conditions on set. Some contestants and crew members have complained about the lack of food and water, safety issues, and unfair games. Accounts from contestants range from people having a great time to something quite different. Now, the Beast Games will feature 1,000 contestants with a $5 million cash prize. And this is a big deal with Amazon. I mean, supposedly the deal is worth $100 million, so the $5 million cash prize isn't that much in comparison. I'm sure they're going to save the rest of the money for all the lawsuits and the injuries, the hospital bills. Ooh.
YouTuber Mr. Beast reportedly in talks for competition series on Amazon's Prime Video in a deal worth $100 million.
We are doing a streaming show, and yeah, we're doing one with Prime. I probably should be careful what I say too much. I've never done a streaming show like this, so I don't like with YouTube. I'm super open about everything. I don't. Well, I'm just trying to calculate how much I want to talk about the negotiations. There's let's just say Amazon will give us the most creative control, and by most I mean all creative control, and they'll let me do whatever I want. And other platforms, didn't. And I'm going to try to make the most viewed streaming show in history.
Now, Mr. Beast's team, of course, has put out a statement saying the allegations are, quote, inaccurate. Now, I actually guess they have more than 1,000 people on set because the competition originally began with 2,000 people. So now they've narrowed it down to 1,000, which when you're thinking about like a show like this, like how many people could they really follow with that many people? It's not like everyone's going to be mic'd up, right? I mean, can you imagine the audio with everyone talking? Vital Vegas, a network, actually spoke to an employee at a hospital in the area who said they had treated contestants who were injured during filming. Rosanna Pincino, a content creator, YouTuber, author, actress, I mean, she knows it all, said in a TikTok she received several messages from crew members and contestants about the conditions on filming of the Beast Games.
Overall, the stories that I'm hearing just break my heart. I have never heard of anything like this on any set. So today I want to read a statement from another contestant who shares many of the same experiences with the other stories that I'm hearing. No one was using a microphone to make announcements, so it was really hard to hear what production was saying. A lot of things got missed. I had to hear through the grapevine about certain things like when they had Gatorade, when we could go to medical, when they had snack bags on the last day, when we could get our undergarments, etc. They handed out undergarment bags to everyone alphabetically by last name. I did not receive my undergarments until the second day of filming. These should have been handed out to everyone day one. People were using their undergarment bags as pillows when they slept on the stadium floor. After the first competition, they hadn't fed us in a while and I was feeling lightheaded. I asked someone if they had anything to eat because I was feeling lightheaded, and they told me to push through and basically suck it up. On the first day, after 12 hours of having contacts in my eyes, I asked someone if I could go to medical and take them out, and they told me no.
So those are some pretty damning allegations. I actually did watch some of the Squid Games that was hosted by Mr. Beast, I believe. Or maybe I just watched the Netflix version. But anyways, they were trying to sell it like that. But of course, Mr. Beast does everything way too big that he cannot handle this. And he's treating like people like livestock, like putting them in this room and trying to make them play these games like animals, like not actually caring about their well-being.
I witnessed 2 people that had seizures, and it took medical several minutes for them to get there. I'm assuming this happened because they did not have access to medication, but I could be completely wrong. Medics should have been there on the field 24/7, ready to go at all times. I was told by production they were working up to 20-hour days. As all of us were, we were all sleep and food deprived. The timing between feeding us was not consistent. In the first meal they gave us, around 6-7 p.m., I had no protein. All I had was a little container of oatmeal and a little container of vegetables and a little container of fruit. We didn't eat again until the early morning. I heard people were being pushed and shoved by males and challenges, and they were not being punished for it. They gave out feastable chocolates to contestants at times. My group hoarded chocolate because we weren't sure when the next time they would feed us would be, and we were afraid we would go hungry. Someone was denied Benadryl because of their allergic reaction to the food.
Oh, Elon Musk, this north of the border singer, Grimes, so Elon's ex, can't personally wage a war against the celebrity CEO because she will lose a huge chunk of her income, so she's forced to use proxies. This person asks, didn't Grimes have 2 more kids with Elon? Did she not take note of his absence from his other kids' lives? This person wrote that Grimes' mom tweeted Elon about how he hasn't followed through with the custody agreement, never gave back the kids apparently. Now, in my opinion, I think Grimes is in a tough place right now. She's dealing with someone who is very outspoken, very wealthy, very powerful and unpredictable. Also, he's got plenty of kids. He's got a lot of kids. It's clear that he's not going to be present in all their lives. He's doing everything else. I think he's really having these kids just to produce a new wave of like children and hoping one of them will be just like him.
How many kids do you have now?
I have 12.
12?
Yeah.
So what did you like about having kids?
Well, I think kids are delightful.
Why? What's delightful about them? Because they get a bad rap, man. So what did you find delightful about them?
I mean, most people, vast majority of people are going to love their kids, and it's like
Yeah, so that's a
little loved one.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
And
They also want to love you.
They do.
Kids, if you give them the chance.
They do.
They're the only people you'll ever meet in your life who want nothing more than to have the best possible relationship they could have
Sure.
with anyone with you. That's a good deal.
It's a good deal. If we weren't biologically inclined to love our children and to want to nurture them and to find reward, we would long ago have ceased to exist.
So Grimes' mom claims that Elon is withholding the couple's 3 kids from visiting their dying great-grandma in Canada. Grimes' mother has accused Elon of holding the children back, not wanting to take them, I guess, up north of the border. Now, Grimes' mom writes, "Dear Elon, it was nice seeing you on Father's Day. I hope you got the card that I helped X, their child, make. He was so proud of it." Which, it's interesting now to see that their son's name is X, and then he's named this entire social media platform X. She continues, "I'm writing here as the only way I have to reach you. As you know, my 93-year-old mother is now at end of life care. She yearns to see and hold Claire's children, so Grimes' children, one last time, especially the youngest, who she has not met yet." She goes on to say that she was excited to see the 3 children on her birthday on Saturday, but those hopes were crushed when the trip was canceled. Because Elon is so well off, I can't imagine his kids taking commercial flight. So if they wanted to go to Canada, I'm sure he has to arrange it with a private plane, and if he want to cancel it, he can. She goes on to write that, "I'm alarmed to learn that the children cannot come, as you, Elon, are withholding them and their needed passport documents from Claire. It was even more troubling to see you and X on television at the Olympics in Paris yesterday after your DC trip earlier this week. Where are the other children and with whom? They are scheduled to be with their mother, and they were expected to be here in Canada. I write you with a grandmother's plea asking you to honor your agreement, return the children, and provide the documents they need to see their great-grandmother before she passes. Some moments in life last forever. We get no second chances. Family is priceless. Please, Elon, I beg you. This is so painful for my mother and concerning for the kids. Time is of the essence now." Oh, that last blind item actually made me really sad. This one actually makes me really disgusted and angry, and like, I didn't know if I want to start with this one. I didn't know if we can get into this one. It's about Tiffany Haddix. Surprise, surprise. This comic actress is out of the country and enjoying the much younger ages of consent. Oh my gosh, please. Ew. Now, we've talked about Tiffany before on the channel. Every time I talk about her, my video gets age restricted because she's got some weird fondness for like younger men. This comment writes, "Gross, I agree." Another person writes, "I can only hope this comes back to haunt her." Another person writes, "She's the one saying she's shocked that they have grocery stores in Africa. In this day and age, the level of ignorance is stupid." This person writes, "It's pathetic when a 44-year-old woman of means needs to get intimacy from 16-year-old boys." Then again, Tiffany Haddix is the same woman that filmed a comedy bit with Ari Spears, known from the point of view of a sex offender. She's disgusting. We've talked about these clips before. I don't know if I have to blur them. I don't really want to get into them, but I need to remind you guys.
Do whatever Uncle Pete asks you to do, okay? Be good. All right, thank you so much. If you need anything, just call me, okay? Mwah. See you. All right now.
Okay. No, but okay. Yeah, we're not gonna play that in its entirety or at all, really. It is so, I'm actually like queasing. It's so disgusting. Tiffany Haddix can go to hell for that. And it looks like our girl Tiffany is so surprised to learn that there are African grocery stores. Now, I've never been to Africa, but I am not this ignorant. Like, please, there are grocery stores everywhere. Maybe not like, the rainforest, but you know what I mean? Like, it's the ignorance of like, oh, Africa is like underdeveloped. Like, girl, there are full cities in Africa, please. Tiffany Haddix is facing some heat after visiting a grocery store in Africa and acting like it was the coolest thing ever. She went out in Zimbabwe, where she made a stop at a local supermarket and recorded herself inside. Now, the implication here, or at least how people took it, is that Tiffany couldn't believe that there was a modern grocery store in an African country. She was so shocked, and yeah, it comes off wrong for sure.
So I'm out here in Zimbabwe, and look at the grocery store. They got a grocery store. It's beautiful in a grocery store. It's absolutely humongous. In Africa, baby. I just like demystifying shit. It don't smell bad.
Wait, did she just say it doesn't smell bad? Is she trying to suggest that it would smell bad? Several critics slammed Tiffany for her reaction to seeing an everyday grocery store in Africa. Some even went as far as to call her name, saying that she's an effing idiot. Others wondered what was wrong with Tiffany that she felt comfortable sharing this opinion. However, Tiffany has defended herself. She took to Twitter to explain that she was mystified at the portrayal of Africa. That she's like, wait, what? Okay, wait, so this is some reverse psychology, huh? She goes on to say that Americans are routinely told that people are starving in Africa, and we're being shown certain images to paint a certain picture. Okay, wow. I mean, she's speaking to something that is true, but I also feel like this is such a dated idea, like something that people would think in like the 90s. She adds, "We got here and I have been eyes full of tears finding out the truth. The media has been lying. I thought I would share because I know people in the USA believe that Africans don't have anything." No, I mean, there are like, I know some of the richest African people. Like in my neighborhood growing up, like I knew African families. Like that's Zimbabwe I'm familiar with. I grew up with my friend Manassas, who lived down the street, and his family. I was super close to them. Still friends with Manassas and all of them. And yeah, so like I don't know. I just don't know where she got this. I guess like, was she like in a really privileged environment growing up where she wasn't exposed to African people? She says, "So does everybody own livestock and land in Africa? I believe in this video, then I would see there's no need for grocery stores, but I am a dumb American, don't mind me." Well, you don't have to tell us that twice. In other words, Tiffany feels like she didn't do anything but call out the inaccurate portrayal of African life. So she thinks she was doing a positive thing here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Blind Item Breakdown. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are you still enjoying this series? Should I say it? Should I say it? Should I not say it? Should I say it? Should I not say it? I've got a new series coming out on the channel. You guys know we love a good series. Well, this is like, I think, what are we at? We're like week 26 of the Blind Item Breakdown. So I have been loving it. It's been 26 weeks, which, oh gosh, divide by 4. Is it like, wait, 24 divided by 4 is a 4? No, a 4. 4 times 4. Yeah. So, yeah, so I was trying to think, how many weeks have we been doing the Blind Item Breakdown? Well, we're starting a new series on August 11th. It's going to be different than this one. I believe it will be coming out on every Sunday, and there will be 2 components to it, and it's going to have a name, and it's going to be cool, and I'm excited, and it's a new project, and hopefully you guys like it. If you don't like it, we can always pull it down, but there's going to be an aspect of it that I think is going to be very different for the channel, and I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm also kind of excited. I'm a little bit excited. I wonder if you guys can guess what it's going to be like. I would love to hear some guesses below. If you guys have reached this point of the video, I'm always shocked if there are people at the end. Like, really? You're sitting here still? You are? Well, get along with your day and have a good one. You guys know I love you, and I'll see you in a new video soon. August 11th. Mark your calendars. Bye, guys.